Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Welcome. Today we've been sent a new release game by Ratalaika Games, ratalaikagames.com. Thank you for sending me the key for this game to stream for all my fabulous viewers out there. It's called Caffeine, Victoria's Legacy. No, it's not about coffee. Actually, it might be, because it's got a coffee bean there. When I first thought it, I thought it was about drinking coffee, but it's not. It's a visual novel, guys. It's a visual novel. Let me tell you what it's about. But before we do that, if you're watching me live right now on my Twitch channel, please feel free to drop that follow by hitting that heart icon. I really do appreciate it. But, there is a but. If you are watching this back on my YouTube channel as a video replay and you enjoy it and you like it, you can comment on it. I'll reply to your comments. Dislike it if you dislike it. Like it if you like it. But please, guys, if you want to show some support and say, like, basically a thank you for streaming this and playing this game, I really do appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. It's free, FREE. It takes 1 second, one click of your time. It's somewhere on your screen down there. You just click it, and that's just a way of saying thank you. You don't have to put notifications on. I don't mind about that, but if you can just help my channel grow by sharing these videos of all the these games my sponsors are sending me, so you can save all your hard-earned money on before you go out and buy them. You can just come to my channel and see what they like before you actually go and buy them. So if you want to say thank you and just help my channel grow, please, guys, share my videos and please subscribe to my channel. Yes, it is free. Not many things in life are free, but this is one of them. Take advantage while you can. So, it's called Caffeine, Victoria's Legacy. Let me tell you what it's about before we start. Caffeine, Victoria's Legacy is a choice-rich fantasy adventure visual novel set in the steampunk Victorian reality. Why? So, while on a journey to his long-lost mum's homeland, Tucker mysteriously finds himself in a city of Victoria. Soon, he's staring at a coffee house named Tucker Coffee House, the same coffee house that remembered so fondly during his childhood. Join Tucker in discovering his roots and search for his family's secrets in a city where baristas and knights and coffee is king. Let me read that again. In a city where baristas are knights and coffee is king. So it is about coffee. I haven't had my morning coffee today. I'm getting the shakes. The game features epic scope visual novel with 450,000, yes guys, 450,000 words, almost 500,000 words, numerous choices and endings, 4 romance options, animated spirits and cutscenes, original soundtrack including opening and ending songs, and partial voice acting. Its release date September 30th, 2022, which is today here in Australia. It's a single player game. The gene is a venture visual novel. Publisher, once again, is Ratalaika Games. ratalaikagames.com. Please check them out, guys. Supported language is English. It's available for the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. Today, guys, I am playing this game on the Xbox Series X using the Xbox wireless headset and a Space Jam Tune Squad wireless Xbox controller. So, let's get into it, eh? What do you say? Let's get into it. Normally we shouldn't have to look at preferences, but all of it's pretty... Maybe drop the music down a tad. Yeah, I think that might be just a little bit better. Oh, hold it. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. And let's just get... And then extras. Extras is going to be the gallery when we unlock some images. Okay. I'll return. I'm trying to press B to get back into it. So it is about coffee, even though it says caffeine. This game is a work of fiction. It is not an accurate representation of the caffeine does to your real life. This game only offers voice acting during character introduction and important CG scenes. Victoria is a fictional city. Do not attempt to locate it on your map. I couldn't read the rest of it, but if you want to pause that later back on my video replay, I'm sure you'll be able to read the rest of it yourself. I do apologize. I am a slow reader and not a very good one. It's funny. Do not attempt to locate it on your map. Let's get into it. The rising sun colors the sky to the east. The aurora of purple gradually fades and merges with the Hillary contours, leaving the red and orange to clash for dominance in the painted sky. And straight away, guys, my eyes are set on her chest. That's all those lewd games we've been playing. A young woman dressed in a delicate top blazes fully beyond the horizon. She slightly brushes across her sword, neatly in its shelf. Her sheath embroidered with her house's insignia hanging at her waist. I almost couldn't get that word out. The insignia of her house, the proof of her royal blood, a sign of her proud heritage. Her clothes ragged by the constant battles she has waged, but her posture shines of prestige. Hey cowboy, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Howdy doody, cowboy. Once again, cowboy, thanks for helping me out before. I really do appreciate it. The body of a little girl, battle-hardened by war. Scars that spoil her unmatched beauty will remain with her, both physically and emotionally. Once again, guys, the cowboy's in the stream, so go check him out. It's a great streamer. If you do check him out, make sure you mention Sailor Moon. He's a massive Sailor Moon fan. Massive. So just rock up to his stream and just start singing the Sailor Moon, theme song or what do you want to call it, and he'll just join straight in. He'll just get into it. He maybe even go and get his Sailor Moon costume on. I don't know. He might, if you sing it well enough. But once again, guys, check out the cowboy. Streams day and night now. Check him out. 3 years of battle from sea to sea. How she won is how it all became a blur. Today, she could finally proclaim victory. But the taste of victory isn't sweet. She'd rather have lost the war just to bring him back. Reality finally sinks in. The betrayal of one of her most trusted advisors hurts her deeply. But the deepest pain to intrude into her heart was the eventual revelation that she had lost him forever. Cowboy says, what's new with you, mate? Not much today, Cowboy. Just finished up some work. I'm just doing this stream right now. Promised Leigh I'll play some Roblox with her. So I had to download that on the Xbox. That's a nightmare to set up, that game. Like, you download it, that's fine. But when you get into it, you create the avatar and it's just all wonky, eh? She loves it though, so I'd said I'll play it with her. She cannot rewind time to bring him back. Time never stops for the mourned, no matter how bitter the pain, how cruel the parting. There is no way to bring him back, a man that is already gone from this world. That is perpetual fact of this world. At what cost, she shouts into her heart. She looks at the barren land, devoid of everything that she would made this place a great land to start all over. Is this a joke? She thought to herself. I found so hard for so long. I sacrificed so many of my good men. In exchange, this is what I get? I'm still waiting to see her eyes. I can't see her eyes. It's frustrating me. Exactly, Cowboy. What happened to her eyes? I think it's just her hair and the shadow covering it. I think. But I was too busy looking at her chest to really notice that. And then I just gradually looked up and realized she had no eyes. Oh, man. I tell you, those lewd games are just wrecking every game for me, eh? Oh, the other eye. Yeah. Oh, you dirty bugger, Cowboy. Sorry, guys. I'll get back into it. An island filled with barren rocks and hungry mosquitoes. Where it rains so hard my knees are covered with mud. She swallows her tears and nearly chokes. No, she cannot cry. Not when her companions are looking at her. She tries to smile to herself. What would she, from the 3 years ago, say in this situation? 3 years ago, she was still young and naive, a brave soul who would dash towards anything, ignoring the perils that befell her. God, I don't know what I was saying then. There was no challenge that would dim the light in her heart. She knows exactly what the little girl would say. No volcanoes, no hot springs? There shall I get inspiration for my debut novel. Where's my dearest, and with her breath, Beth over where in the gardens of Eden, our eyes appreciating each other's naked beauty. She laughs at her own jokes while her companion standing behind her gaze slightly, bewildered by her outburst. Ah, there's her eyes. There's her eyes finally. But that will not do. Her first words to establish this land as her own cannot be unfitting. She is a little girl no more. She is not a princess. From today onward, she will be queen, and she will act like one. She gazes at her, eyes shining with pride and dignity. Befitting of a queen, she has conquered the tamed all evil in this world. I hereby call this land Victoria, and will rebuild a city we love with last for eternity. This is my memory, my beloved, my one and only love. There goes her eyes. Her eyes have disappeared again, and she faints a smile. Okay, present day, somewhere over the Pacific Ocean. Was that a dream? What a strange dream. Even moved me to tears, like a song with no lyrics. Yes, a song with no lyrics, no context. I was weeping for a girl with no name, no history or a face. A girl who just flashed by my dreams, like a stranger on a subway. No, that is not an appropriate way to describe her. She was more like coffee. Coffee. Why coffee? Because she looked bitter. No, it's because of something else. She put a spring in my step. It's because of the smell. Sorry guys, my glasses are going a little blurry on me. And it is, at that moment, I find myself fully awake inside a cockpit that is very much reality. Besides me and a woman pouring out coffee with a rich, sweet scent. Cowboy said, I wish she flashed. It's not that type of game, Cowboy. It's about coffee. This game's about coffee. I know you hate coffee, Cowboy, but if Dane was here, the builders Dane, the great Dane, he'd be all over this game. Is that coffee you're pouring out? Yes, it is. What else could it be? No one's got eyes in this game. It's funny. Like, that's where her eyes should be. She smiles at me. The lights are dim. I have a feeling she is intentionally covering her eyes with her cap, which feels so out of place in this plane. See, that explains it. The cap is covering her eyes. Her eyes must be on a forehead. Coffee brewed with cold water in a cold brew bottle. I brought some bottled water and started brewing the coffee 12 hours ago. Better than the swill that is served on the plane. You've been brewing the coffee for the past 12 hours? Cowboy says, I wear my hat all the time, yet I can still see my eyes. Her eyes are on a forehead, Cowboy. It's a new type of breed, they call it forehead girls. Yes, I can't use the hot water on a plane to brew hot coffee. Did you know they use the toilet water to serve coffee and tea? That is just urban myth. A plane only has one water tank, of course. They come from the same source. But I do not plan to argue. I'm old enough to know that the appropriate response to a nod politely and make a soft, whispering Even finding the right bottled water was such a hassle. There were so many brands. I bought all of them, tasted each one. Most of them were terrible, too acidic, too sweet, too soft. Took me a while to find a perfect water for brewing my coffee. You can taste the difference? Of course I can. I can smell the minerals just by taking a sniff. A sniff. I'm a barista, and water is the most important element in a cup of coffee. Add bad water to great coffee beans, and you end up with terrible coffee. But use great water for average coffee beans, and your coffee still turns out amazing. When I make my coffee, I've got one of those espresso pod machines. I think it's called a Creatista Plus. I use purified water in mine. Purified. I don't think it tastes any different to the tap water, to be honest, but it helps the machine last longer too. So I don't have to descale it that much. But I don't think I can taste the difference. To be honest, I haven't tried in a long time. Actually, I don't even think I have tried. Maybe I could try to taste the difference. Anyway, back into it, guys. Do you want to try some? Sure. Coffee doesn't come from the toilet. Woohoo! I really don't feel. Yeah, well, sure. Let's try it. Thank you. That's very nice of you. I feel like Snow White being offered a big red apple. But hey, this is a real life, and real life people in general are nice. This isn't some fantasy story where a wrong choice can kill you. Well, it might be, right? Death by coffee. I look at the coffee in my hands. If you're not a coffee geek, then I suppose the origins of coffee are lost on you. But I could tell you, I only drink good coffee from amazing coffee beans. I take a sip of brown liquid before me, intensely satisfying the first thought that comes to my mind. Never have I drank a cup of coffee which gives me a mouth of natural chocolate flavour. There isn't even the slightest hint of pungent bitterness lingering on my tongue. Wow, this is good. I mean, I don't drink coffee often, but I can tell this is different. You probably can taste the chocolate, but I can taste there a little bit more than that. If you're starting to become a regular coffee drinker, you'll smell flowers and fruit as well. I continue to nod politely, but deep down I feel conflicted, as now I realize that she is a coffee snob. There is nothing wrong with being a coffee snob. I live in the modern world where I really accept anyone, anything. I have even accepted the fact that my future wife could be 2D. But I do have many complicated relations with coffee snobs, and that is slowly eating into me. So, I haven't asked yet, where are you going? Traveling? Business? And that was all I said to her, sweet and short, conveying no information of particular importance. But even if not to her, I should probably say something about myself, even though this is nothing, absolutely nothing interesting about me. You see, my name is Taka Knight, and I'm ordinary. You will not find someone more plain or boring. I am the perfect self-insert poltergeist if there was a video game. If I were a video game, sorry. I wear checkered shirts and jeans, the only thing you ever see me wear. My best friend was a dog called Jack who died 10 years ago. And my greatest fear when talking to girls is getting electrocuted. Seriously. As for my gender preference, the number of digits in my bank account, or whether I have had sex, those questions I'd rather keep to myself. Why? Because I'm ordinary. And the world isn't kind to ordinary people. The world isn't kind to ordinary people that creates no impact on the world around them. I learned that a hard way. And I learned that the best way to protect myself is to be vague with everything. That's why I'm not telling her I'm going to search for my mum. And now there's something a bit out of the ordinary for me. Yes, my mum. I haven't seen my mum since I was 6. Recently, I have been having dreams about her inside a coffee shop where my parents and I used to live. The coffee house was named after me. I'm actually getting sad just reading this. I remember the coffee house, Taka Coffee House. Every morning I would hear the sound of pulleys and awnings would roll down smoothly like a toy train on its tracks. I would sit on the front floor next to the green wooden chairs, pretending to be a drummer, clinging and banging on the metal frames. Then I would run out of the cafe and push my face against the window, making naughty faces towards the customers. There is something about people's eyes in this game, isn't there? Maybe the artist just couldn't draw eyes. I'm not too sure. We've been playing the game now for 20 minutes. We've only seen one set of eyes for a brief second. That's when I would see my dad concentrating hard on pouring hot water from the kettle into a funnel. His hands were always so steady, rotating with such consistency. Even as a child, I was captivated by his performance. I still remember the smell of coffee released into the air. And time seemed to freeze as I repeated the moment countless times in my memories. Then I would see my mum working tirelessly in front of the cashier, greeting customers with a friendly smile. Always so swift and full of energy, she is the sun that shines through the cafe, brightening up the mood of anyone she encountered. Once again, no eyes. We'll just leave it at that though, I think. It's going to frustrate me, I think. Sorry guys, back to it. But the most precious memory of all was But the most precious memory of all is when my mum turned around and met my dad's gaze, as she would smile and look at him as if nothing else mattered. That's how I learn what love is. But that was it. On my 6th birthday, she suddenly disappeared from my life. My dad would never tell me what happened. My dad, he became aloof, distant and cold. He was never there for me anymore since that day. That's why sometimes I will let my dreams take me to happier times, when I can see my dad and mum happy as a family again. That little piece of memory I cling on to dearly, and it's only a memory I have of my mum. One day, I was tidying up Dad's room and I stumbled upon an envelope, embroidered in colourful floral silken patterns. Inside was a letter addressed to my dad. Dear Richard, sadness lingers in my heart, for I must leave. She is family and always will be. But you will not listen to me. Having a vendetta so deep is how clouded your judgment. Is victory everything you care about? If you are after the redeemer of my family is not who you should be going after. I expect to return to Edo if nothing changes. And say happy birthday to Taka for me. Your loving wife, Sarah. The letter baffles me as it counters read like a mystery, but one thing is clear, it contains clues to my mum's whereabouts. The letter mentions Edo, the ancestral name of Tokyo. I do not know why my mum used the term Edo, but regardless, it was my only piece of solid information. And that's why I'm on the plane making my way towards the other side of the world. Interesting. I thought I was running that in my mind. Did I accidentally tell her my life story? So you are Taka? Yes, I am Taka. But did I even tell her my name? What was that? Okay, the plane's going down, guys. It's not good. Red lights. Oh, crap. What's going on? The plane starts shaking down and sideways violently. The plane is making an abrupt descent. Thundering screams echo from the front and back. The only untroubled presence is a girl sitting beside me, seemingly obviously oblivious to the situation. She said coffee, that's why. She keeps looking at me as I once again look at her, I sense something sinister by how she curls her lips towards me. Now, Taka, answer me this, and answer carefully, and how you respond could very well determine your fate. I'm not sure if I want to answer any questions. All I want to do now is to scream. My question, why does this coffee bean actually do? Huh? You're a coffee terrorist. Did you drug me with coffee? No idea. Now, 3 hugs before we die. What do you reckon we can choose, guys? The action started now, cowboy. Plane's going down. We're going to pick one. Okay, cowboy, you get to choose. You're a coffee terrorist? Did you drug me with this coffee? Or no idea? Now, 3 hugs before we die. What do you reckon, cowboy? Hugs. Okay, we're going for hugs. Cowboys chose hugs. Alright, your question makes no sense and we're going to die. Can we at least hug each other and spread some love? What? I mean, everyone wants to feel attached to someone before meeting their death, right? Oh dear, I was wondering how you would react, but never did I think you'd make an outrageous comments. I'm not interested in hugging you, Taka. You need to earn it. Besides, no one is going to die today. As for your quest to search for your mum, I hope you find your answers soon. Are you for real? We're gonna die! No, we won't. You just have to believe. What? Believe in what? I'm not really interested in her answers, as there is a hole in the plane, sucking everything out is unending sky. But she answers me calmly. Believe in caffeine. And that's when she unbuckles my seatbelt. Oh, that's great. A strong force pulls me out from my seat. My body is thrown out into the deep blue sky. I try to maintain consciousness. but the defying screams of the wind sound like an embedding the devil impotent. Everything is in vain, my life is going to end. I cannot read this so fast. The wind is blowing towards my face. I can't, Taka. I can't read that fast. Who is calling me? What is everything slowing down? Caffeine will show you the way. Believe in yourself. Believe in caffeine. Believe in caffeine. That last cloud was like, these clouds are like hearts. They were like a heart. I can't read that fast. That was just going nuts. Oh, look, it's coffee art. That's what it is. See how they do it? The clouds are becoming coffee art? I can't do coffee art for the life of me. I've tried, and I've only managed to do one thing once, and it was not that great. Hey, Cowboy, have you ever tried coffee? Have you actually ever tried it? For those who don't know, the Xbox Cowboy is in the stream right now. He doesn't like coffee. And I'm asking him if he's ever tried coffee. He also doesn't like tomato or fish. I did, yes. Okay, that's fair enough. Because if you've never tried it, then you don't know if you actually like it. But if you have tried it, then fair enough. See, back in the day, I used to hate coffee. Not that's just the taste of it. It's because of what it did to me. I had one coffee and I would be shaking. Absolutely shaking. If I had 2 coffees, I would be a time bomb. But I got a little bit older. And now I can have a coffee. If I still have 2 coffees, I'm not shaking, but it takes me a long time to sleep at night. Like I'm naturally a hyped guy. I'm actually, you know, I'm a bit buzzed always, naturally buzzed. But it's kind of lessened over the years, I guess. So now I can have a coffee and I enjoy it. But if I still have 2 coffees, especially if I have one around lunchtime, that night I find it a little bit harder to sleep. But I do like a coffee. Okay, so that's a little bit. Let's get back into it. I can't remember how long it was. It feels like it's been asleep for a long time. I felt water rushing into my lungs. There was a moment when it felt like I was drowning in the ocean. Then I started feeling soft and beneath my back, with gentle waves pushing my body deeper into the embrace. Now I hear seagulls calling from afar, and the sounds gradually disappear. I'm just listening to the music in the background, guys, talking about caffeine or singing. It's cool. The softness of the sand gives way to my comfort of feathery cushion. I am now sleeping peacefully on a soft feather pillow. And then I open my eyes. If anyone actually has eyes in this game. Where am I? Am I in heaven? Is this what heaven looks like? Heaven looks like a coffee shop. The sight of a fine red bricks and the sound of broomsticks sweeping the floor. I close my eyes and open them again. I'm still here. I try lifting up my head to have a better look around the room. Okay, let's see if we get to see this lovely girl's eyes. And then I see her. The shadow of a young girl with long hair is a reddish curl tied up in a ribbon. Oh, she's got eyes! Tied up in a ribbon, held up with a yo-yo on both sides, dressed in green, humming a tune. Thank God we get to see a set of eyes. Everything is so calm and serene. She is like a guardian angel, quietly sweeping the floor. I couldn't resist the urge. I pull myself up and whisper in a low voice. Mum? I just couldn't help myself then. She slowly turns her head around and bright light shining out from her whole body. Magical, pretty and bright. She smiles at me. She has the most beautiful smile I've ever seen. The scene, the atmosphere, is like going back in time, reminding me of the past that was long gone. I still don't know where I am, but at this moment I feel safe, I feel calm, and I feel a new adventure has just begun. I wonder if that's actually his mum, or he just called some redheaded girl Mum. Imagine that. I push myself upright. I run my fingers along my body, searching for signs of broken bowls, twisted arms, paralyzed limbs, and hideous scars. There are none. I am alive and well. I have miraculously survived. That's when I turn to the girl who is smiling at me. Okay, so Cowboy, if you're still with me, or if anyone else is still with me, you're going to choose out of these three. One is, am I dead? Are you my afterlife angel? A cute girl in a maid's dress. I know which one I'm going to choose, but first in, first gets it, guys. If you don't get in. Second, are you my afterlife angel? I really thought Cowboy would have gone a cute girl in a maid's dress, the last one, but he didn't. He went for the second one, so I'm guessing the second one it is. It's not what I would have chose. I would have chose the girl in the maid's dress, but okay. Are you my afterlife angel? That's what we'll do. Are you an angel? Are you here to introduce me to my afterlife?
Oh, do I look like an angel? Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not an angel. I'm human.
Okay, that's nice. I didn't have to read that.
But what a relief. The fact you can still make jokes means that you're fine.
That wasn't really a joke. When I first saw you, I really thought you were an angel.
I thought your first impression of me was that I looked like your mom.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's not dwell on the embarrassing slip-up. And that definitely wasn't the best introduction. But the reason I called you out Mum was because I have this memory of her sweeping the floor with a red brick wall behind her. Which looks eerily similar to the one I'm looking at right now. Of course, now I look at the girl in front of me, she bears no resemblance to my mum. I think my mum's a bit older.
But I'm so glad you're fine. You were lucky to have survived that crash.
I really like the fact that I read as my character, which is the main character, but the characters that are talking to me are voiced over. If that continues, that is brilliant. I wish all visual novels are like that, because sometimes it becomes too much sometimes to read it. I know, like, if you're used to reading it, it's fine. Like, I'm used to reading visual novels now, but it's a nice change, and I really applaud it.
You can probably still see the smoke if you look out the window. It was a sight when the airship blew up in flames.
Wait. Airship?
You were on that airship, right? I ran to the harbor immediately when I saw what happened and found you lying on the beach.
No, that's not it. I was on a plane from Seattle, not an airship.
Seattle? Where's that?
Seattle, in the States.
The States? Oh, I know what you mean. You're from the West Coast states, aren't you?
It's not called the West Coast States, it's called the United States of America.
Never heard of it.
No kidding. You've never heard of the USA?
USA?
Where are we?
That's a really strange name for a country. Are there any famous baristas born there?
This feels so weird. How can she not know what the USA stands for? She's speaking in perfect English, so it can't be a language problem. I take another look around the room. The arched wooden ceilings and floor, the gas lamp and the hanging on the ceiling, the room looks straight out of a historical drama. My eyes flicker towards the table beside me. A small but polished mechanical clock with golden plates, frames, silver wheels and gears is installed behind the translucent glass. A piece of clockwork sprang from the back. The clock is eerily quiet. It isn't moving. Alice follows my gaze and turns towards the clock. This could be Alice in Wonderland, guys. We might have fallen down the rabbit hole. We might have. We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, I see. The clock has stopped running. It probably hasn't been turned for a while.
She picks up the clock and starts winding it before replacing it on the table. The clock starts ticking again. That's a really cool mechanical clock.
Really? It looks like every other clock to me.
Looks like every other clock? That doesn't sound right at all. Okay, what do I ask her? So, 3 questions again, guys. If you're watching me live right now on my Twitch channel, first in, first gets it. The only famous barista I know is called Sparducks. Instead of Starbucks, it's Spark Ducks. An ordinary clock, or the third one, I can't take it anymore. So if you're still with me, guys, first in first gets it. 1, 2, or 3, that's what we have to put down. If you don't decide, I'll pick myself. Okay, guys, no one's picked, so I'm going to go ordinary clock. Why did you say the mechanical clock looked ordinary? It looks really expensive to me.
It's not really that expensive. Every house has one like it.
Really? I thought everyone would switch to be looking at their smartphones by now. Oh, speaking of my smartphone, where is it? It's not in my pocket anymore. I guess I lost it.
I don't really know what you're talking about. What's a smartphone?
No way. What do you want to ask her? So we got this 2. I'll just do... Well, I might as well do the first one. Why did you ask me about famous baristas for my country? I only know the name of a coffee shops, not individually baristas.
If you mention some names, then I might know which country you're from.
Okay, but you could have asked about famous politicians, TV stars, or athletes. Isn't it a bit strange to ask about baristas? All good, cowboy. All good, buddy.
It's not strange at all. Of course you would ask about famous baristas. Baristas are such important people.
No way. I mean, we have so many famous singers like Beyonce, Bruno Moon. Sorry, guys. Beyonce. Oh, they've really, instead of putting the copyright laws to people's names, Bruno Mars and Beyonce, they put Beyonce and Bruno Moon. Oh, what a nice touch. We've also called the country that invented the Wi-Fi. Ah, man. This is really just taking the piss now. Surely you've heard of companies like Google and Amazon.
Sorry, but I really don't know what you're talking about.
That's a good way of not have to pay copyright terms, eh? That can't be right.
What about famous coffee houses? Are there any famous coffee houses from the USA?
the way she spelled it. Spa Ducks. There's also a really popular fast food chain called McWobbles. Oh, McWobbles. I actually have never thought of McWobbles before. Ah. Nah, it's funny. It's funny.
What's McWobbles? And who would name their coffee house Barducks? That sounds so weird.
No way. Okay, we'll just do this one. I can't take this anymore.
Hey, where are you going?
I want to go and have a look outside. I throw away the blanket covering myself and I realize I'm only in my underwear. She's enjoying it. I'm so sorry.
Oh no. I'm sorry I forgot to tell you. I prepared some new clothes for you.
She runs out with her eyes covered. Let me get dressed first. There are still many questions left unanswered. First, where am I? Second, how did I get here? Third, what are these weird clothes she has given me? What is this? Is this some kind of yeast? Yeast? Did she even have a woolen suit to wear? A flat cap? What kind of costume is this? I finish putting the clothes on and look in the mirror. I am dressed like a student during the French Revolution, plotting against the cake-loving Marie Antoinette. Oh, I guess this will do. But what happened to my clothes? Were they ripped apart and left soaking on the beach? In that case, does this mean I lost the letter? The letter? A cold chill runs down my spine. My only connection with my parents, gone. I let this sink for a moment before walking downstairs. It's a nice little cozy looking shop, doesn't it? I walk downstairs, the girl comes over to inspect my clothing. She looks at me approvingly.
Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name's Alice. I'm the owner of this coffee house.
Nice to meet you, Alice. My name's Taka.
Your name's Taka? What a
Taka?
coincidence.
Okay, now I know how to say
This
it.
coffee house is also named Taka.
Taka, not Taka. Taka. Like a taco. I say taco, people call it taco. Huh?
Yes, just look at the sign outside. It says Taka Coffee House.
The coffee house is called Taka Coffee House. I looked around the shop. Everything about this coffee house looks eerily familiar. My heart starts to pound like a beating drum. My lips tremble, trying to find the word to express myself. There is a sense of nostalgia, but it cannot be. I am not prepared for this. I ran out of the coffee house. This can't be. The awning, that's the same green awning my mum used to roll out every morning. That's the same window I used to stick my face against every time I'm playing outside the cafe. I look up at the green awnings again, and I can see the words Taka Coffee House. I stare for ages, my eyes water, and my vision starts to blur. I have come back. I did not expect this, but where am I? I am peering into the vision of happiness that is long gone.
Are you alright?
I really don't know what to say. I remember this place.
Maybe you should come in and take a seat.
Cowboy says, what a surprise. She leads me back into the coffee house, and we sit down at a table.
Here, try some of my pastries.
Alice hands me a plate with a variety of pastries. There are also a collection of macaroons in rainbow colours. I grab a macaron and take a bite. I have to say these are really good. Taste like iced strawberries. I take another one and keep eating. Oh, the taste is like a fresh mint. Then another one. This one is delicious.
You must be so hungry.
Oh, sorry, I guess I was a bit hungry after everything had happened. But these macarons are really good.
Thank you. I'm so happy you said that. Though I still have a lot to work on. I need to work on the texture, and this time I might have made them a little too sweet.
Don't be so hard on yourself. These macarons have just gave my life back.
Yes, but I tried the macarons from the Royal Pastry Shop and the texture was so much better.
Why is she not reading now? I heard the pastry chef spent 2 years testing out different recipes until he got a perfect shape and crunchiness. 2 years? Wow. That's what I call dedication.
Yes, that's why I need to work hard. My dream is to become the best pastry chef in the world.
Wow, I can see how determined you are. I'm sure you will succeed.
Thanks, but first, I need to make sure this coffee house doesn't close down.
What do you mean?
The issue is, we haven't been able to hire a barista. None of the baristas that work here were able to last more than a month.
And why is that the case? The moment I finish the sentence, I start to feel a little bit dizzy. Oh, my head! Dark edges appear in my vision. I quickly grab on the edge of the table to prevent myself from falling.
Oh no. How are you feeling?
Not very well, to be honest.
Looks like you need a cup of coffee to heal your body.
Coffee? Shouldn't I get more sleep instead?
No. You definitely need a cup of coffee. Since we don't have a barista, I can walk you over to the nearest coffee house.
Alice doesn't wait for me to reply and already heading to the door. I begin to worry about Alice more and then about myself. A cup of coffee in my condition? What is she thinking? But she said if my life depends on a cup of coffee, I feel bad if I don't follow her. I guess I still have energy to take a short walk. Alice leads me out of the coffee house. We start to descend along the narrow alleyway. So Alice. Okay, so guys, if you're with me, 2 choices, 1 or 2. 1 is where exactly am I? And 2, tell me the truth. I'm in a prank show, am I? Just have to put 1 or 2. All good. I'm going one. Where exactly am I? All these buildings look weird. Okay, so now she's not ready. This is disappointing. I quite enjoyed her voice. This is the main street of Victoria. Did you not expect Victoria's main street to look like this? This place is called Victoria? I knew it was too good to be last, guys. Having her, it did say that the voices would only be for a certain period of time, but I was hoping that it would be like all characters and be just really good. Oh well, back to reading. Yes, this is Victoria, the coffee capital of the world. The main street is where all the best coffee houses in Victoria are located. The place I'm taking you is called Mioya Coffee House. It is just right here. Let's go in. I walk into the coffee house to find myself in a grand hall of fancy chairs and tables. Wow, it kind of reminds me of that bar at Westworld. Remember the TV show Westworld Series 1? And they had all the prostitutes upstairs. You go down and you have your drinks and you play a bit of blackjack and you get a girl and go upstairs and have a bit of fun time. Westworld. In the cowboy will know about it, but this is what it reminds me of. Wow, this place looks grand. We have some serious gourmet coffee here. It's a pity this person's not talking. Yes, indeed, our coffee is definitely one of the more luxurious side. Yikes, you scared me. I apologize. It seems that I have a master of technique of greeting people. That's alright. Can you help us brew a coffee with a strong floral scent and herbs for my friend here? He survived the airship crash and is badly in need of something to revive him. Certainly. I will get it prepared now. Judging by your friend's condition, I would suggest a single origin Akusumit coffee from the Yiga Chief region. Please take a seat first. A what coffee? But before I could blunt out my confusion, Alice had already left with the server, leaving my questions unanswered. The waitress leads us to a row of couches. I crash on the couch and close my eyes. Hey, don't sleep here. The coffee will be ready very soon. She's a feisty redhead, isn't she? I think this couch has way more healing powers than coffee. 15 minutes have passed and there's no sign of my coffee. They are surely taking their time. Maybe I should have a look around. The cowboy says, the way I like him. Cowboy likes a feisty redhead. There's a couple of feisty redheads in Sailor Moon. I think that's his main character. His main character is a blonde, but I'm pretty sure there's a feisty redhead in there, and he loves her the best. What's her name, cowboy? There are other customers here, and all in formal dresses and suits, but something is off. Really off. For one thing, the suits and dresses all look vintage. I want to ask Alice if there were a movie set, but she was already suspicious of my last question. It would be rude to ask something strange again. I decided to take a subtle approach. Alice, everything here seems really well dressed. Of course, Maria Coffee House is the most prestige in Victoria, one of the first to be established and founded by the legendary barista Moya Sensei. Moya Sensei? So this place is Japanese? The interior doesn't look Japanese at all. It is said that the founder of the city, Queen Victoria herself, frequents this coffee house, so you can imagine how prestige this place is. And there's a queen called Victoria? I can't imagine any two words that are far away from the same spectrum. Queen and Sensei. Okay, so guys, we've got three choices. 1, 2, or 3. First and first served gets it. Number 1 is Queen Victoria. She named a city after herself. 2 is what is that funny looking mural over there? And 3 must be really expensive. So first and first gets it, guys. Okay, so the cowboy comes in with the first one. He said Queen Victoria. She named the city after herself. Thank you, cowboy. So the queen just mentioned is the founder of the city. Did she name it after herself? Sounds unimaginative. What are you talking about, Taka? Criticizing our founder could land you under the guillotine. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I will not say anything rude about the queen. Hey, I'm just kidding. Victorians are not that unresponsible. But you should still be careful with your words. Some people get angry when you speak ill of the founder. She is a shining light in our darkest hours. Even though she is long gone from this world, she lives among us in spirit, forever blessing us with the power of caffeine. The power of caffeine? Thanks for the lurk, Cowboy. Lurking and jerking, buddy. Lurking and jerking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here is your single origin coffee. Enjoy. That took a while. I'm sorry you felt that way, sir, but we take our time to brew our coffee to ensure it's adheres to the highest standards. I hope you also take your time to appreciate what we have brewed for you. Alright, I'm sorry, I appreciate it. Oh, she stuck up that one. Taka, maybe you should have the coffee now before it turns cold. I hold the cup up and begin to drain it. Hey, wait, what are you doing? Drinking coffee? But you are drinking it so carelessly. The caffeine won't work if you're not paying attention. Sorry, but I really don't get it. First you need to put First you need to put it close to your nose so you can detect the aroma. Now, what do you smell? I take a sniff. It smells like coffee. What else? Is it flowery, herby, smoky, or nutty? I take another sniff, focusing hard this time. I don't want to irritate Alice anymore. Now you mention it, I do smell something kind of fruity. That's good. Now remember the aroma and take a sip. Feel the texture of the coffee. I take a slurp of the drink and let it carefully flow along my tongue. It's sweet like apples. As the liquid flows across the sides of my tongue, I sense a natural sour taste, bright and clear, like oranges and lime lingering in the background. Lastly, I use the back of my tongue to detect a faint bitterness. Suddenly, I feel revitalized. I have no idea what happened, but it seems like the coffee has got rid of my fatigue. I feel so alive now. You know what? I feel like singing. I feel so alive! I feel so alive for the very first time. Taka, control yourself. Oh, this is embarrassing. Hey, give me a break. I survived the plane crash. I deserve my moment. Alright, Taka. So you really recovered? Much better. Felt like dying, now I feel so alive. That's great. I knew getting you the premium version of coffee would work, but I don't get it. What's so special about this coffee? Why, caffeine, of course. Caffeine? Suddenly I hear a loud cry from behind me. No eyes, man. Kind of remind me of Sherlock Holmes. I rip around to find a man only when his arm's length from where I'm sitting. It's too dark to see his face properly, but his gestures make it clear that he isn't happy. Lady Stanley, I knew I could find you here. I've come to challenge you to a coffee duel. What is going on? She's got eyes. The White Witch has got eyes. Moment draws my eyes to a woman's stands, her gaze fixed on the man in front of her.
It was such a beautiful, peaceful day. It seems that I can't just enjoy a cup of coffee by myself, can I? Do I even know you? Who are you? Enlighten me to why I should accept your challenge.
Okay, so she's talking, but he's not talking. How dare you pretend to not recognize me? I'm the barista who works at the Steamtown Coffee House. The coffee house you just gave a terrible review. I demand an apology for ruining my reputation. Welcome back, Cowboy. Welcome. People around me start chatting with each other. They seem more excited than anything else. All good, Cowboy. All good, buddy. It's almost time for Marble A's mini indie game review anyway. It seems the barista over here is challenging Lady Stanley. What, a barista challenging the governess herself? That's madness. Doesn't he know there's no chance he could win?
Oh, I remember now. You're the barista who claimed to have invented a new kind of coffee. Let me see if I can recall the name. Oh, yes. The avocado latte, served in an avocado shell.
Let me see if I can recall the name. Oh, yes. That's what she just said.
You claimed that your coffee would help me lose weight. I can see why. Anyone who drinks your avocado latte is prone to terrible stomach cramps the following day. I could barely eat a slice of bread after having your latte.
How dare you insult me again? I spent too much experimenting to develop that creation. You will show some respect to my efforts.
2 months? Before you could brew that piece of rubbish? Don't make me laugh.
Hey Alice, what's happening here? It's Lady Stanley. She's challenged into a coffee duel. From what I just heard, Lady Stanley gave a very negative review towards the barista's coffee house. The young barista couldn't stand the insult and now is challenging her to a coffee duel. But I think all bets are on Lady Stanley to win. Who is Lady Stanley? Is she a famous barista? No, Tucker. She's not a barista, she's a copper. A copper's from the 4 great families as well. The 4 great families? The 4 great families are the coppers that fought alongside our founder, Queen Victoria, who founded the city 200 years ago. Lady Stanley is the current title holder of the House Stanley, and we all know her abilities in caffeine are extraordinary. I glance over to the lady once again. Okay guys, we've got 3 choices. Beautiful ladies usually have extraordinary powers. That's number 1. Number 2 is I can't let a man beat a woman up. It's not right. And 3, I'm calling it for the lady. So first and first gets it. 1, 2, or 3. Cowboy's gone for 3. I'm calling it for the lady. The lady doesn't look like that strong, but I'm calling the match for her anyway. Me too, but how come you're already suddenly so sure? Isn't it obvious? The man doesn't even have eyes. If he was somewhere important, they would at least put in an effort to show up his eyes. Tucker, isn't it too early to break the 4th wall? Stop confusing our readers. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fine, let's make this quick. I have other tasks to attend to today.
Don't underestimate me. I'm going to show you that the days of coppers like you are over. So, I'm in the world for the duels is still waiting to settle disputes. What kind of duel is this? Are they going to engage in a fist fight, or do they have some swords concealed behind their backs, ready to strike?
Prepare for us 2 espresso shots, please.
Huh? Espresso shots? 2 shots are prepared, 1 Lady Stanley and the other for the barista. I see, so it's an espresso duel. An espresso duel? Are they going to keep drinking espresso shots until one of them ends up in a hospital? Huh? No, it's not like that at all. Just watch, Tucker. Both jewelers pick up 1 glass and shot. Take a sniff and drink the shot. Great shot. Coffee beans from the volcanic islands of Kona. A perfect espresso roast. Extra caffeine kick as well. Lady Stanley doesn't say anything. Ha, thought so. You're too out of touch. You're having trouble deciding what to say about this fine glass of espresso. I'm not going to wait for you to hear it goes nothing. What happened just then? It's got like a blue flame coming out of his hand. No way! This couldn't be happening! The blue fireball grows until he sees the size of a football. The flames fly towards the ceiling. Then the fireball flies towards Lady Stanley with a growing howl, engulfing her in a sea of flames. What on earth is happening? Lady Stanley is covered in blue flames. Her body is all but disappearing behind a thick layer of smoke. Oh no! What did you do? You killed her! All because of a latte? Ha! Now who's talking? Looks like I have. But before the barista can finish, the smoke splits. To everyone's surprise, Lady Stanley is totally unharmed.
Is that all you have got?
That's impossible. Those were blue flames, hot enough to melt steel. How could you come out unscathed?
Tell me, did you just say that the espresso shot was brewed with Kona coffee beans with an extra caffeine kick?
What did you know, Cowboy? What did you know, buddy? Tell me. Cowboy says he knew it. Yes, why? Why ask?
You said was wrong. It was just a little brief.
A little brief? What do you mean?
Half a year ago, in the middle of summer,
that should win. Yeah, I knew she'd win too. The way she's dressed, she's a white witch. She's a witch, man. Look at her, the white witch from the west.
It blew straight into Mauna Loa, allowing for a small amount of sunlight to pass through despite a lack of rainfall. Just the perfect amount of sunlight to warm the coffee cherries. The ash also brought some unfamiliar qualities of acidity to the soil. That acidity brought in new flavors, unknown to Kona coffee previously. The taste of apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar? But
you couldn't taste anything like that. Of course you can't. It's subtle, but it's there. Do not forget who I am. I am the master of telepathy. And what is the flavor that corresponds to telepathy?
Cowboy. The barista is sweating like mad. Sourness.
Yes. Natural sourness. Citric fruits with flavor notes clear and bright is my cup of coffee. And besides telepathy, what does the taste of sourness bless you with?
You suck at all the energy and blast towards you.
You finally realized, didn't you? Yes, I've collected every single drop of energy from your fireball. I now have it stored inside my palms.
Cowboy says don't make anything these days. It's a game about coffee, mate. It's about coffee. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's very different. Suddenly, the whole room plunges into darkness. Even the air has suddenly dropped a few degrees as a freezing chill sweeps in. Oh no.
Now I'm going to return it to you.
A magic circle glowing on the luminous green appears in front of Lady Stanley. She looks at a cuppa with a confident smile. Suddenly, a roaring sound fills the whole coffee house. My eyes are forced close and Lady Stanley's palms shoot out at a string of blinding lights. The roaring noise subsides, but when I open my eyes, the barista is lying on the floor unconscious. It is all over. Lady Stanley has won with class. The whole coffee house erupts into cheers. Lady Stanley walks elegantly to the counter and put down several gold coins.
Give this man a cup of coffee. He needs a full day's rest to recover. Have a latte. What a joke.
As Lady Stanley walks out the door, I hear someone murmur behind me. That's the power of caffeine, Taka. I turn around. Cowboy says, "Woo! Oh, do!" Did someone just say my name? That voice sounds so familiar. Where have I heard that voice before? That was brilliant. We all expected this to be a fire caffeine performance, but Lady Stanley managed to find the subtle acidic flavors in the espresso and completely change the tide. I never seen such an exciting duel before. But Alice, is this normal? What do you mean, is this normal? I mean, I was looking at the hands all the time. The fireballs came out of nowhere. Is that the power of caffeine? Hey, I just had some caffeine as well. Does that mean I can punch out a fireball? I punched my fist up. I don't expect anything to come out. Cowboy says, do you reckon people really do this shit? For sure, there'll be a TV show about it one day. I think there might be, Cowboy. I think there might be, buddy. I punched my first fist up, and nothing comes out, sorry. Tucker, you can't perform a fire caffeine. The coffee I just ordered for you doesn't have the pungent Ashley flavour. Do you know the power of caffeine works? No. So you know nothing about caffeine? That's unheard of. Don't you have powerful cuppas in the West Coast states? Anyway, it's getting late. We should head back to the coffee house now. Alice and I start walking back to the coffee house. I stand outside a while looking at the landscape. After seeing what had just happened to the coffee house, the electricity and architecture doesn't look as weird anymore. It's really hard to believe you haven't seen a coffee duel before. Cowboy says, nah, they're effing weirdo. I should tell Alice the truth. Tell her that I'm actually not actually from this world. I'm either dreaming or something about a space-time continuum is totally messed up. Somehow I've been plummeted into an alternative reality. But I should tell her the truth. It doesn't feel like the right moment to explain. Besides, how would I start? Falling off a plane and surviving is already a miracle. Falling into a totally different world should be impossible. Can I expect Alice to believe a word I say? What about the coffee shop? The one of my childhood memories? If I'm remembering this place, this can't be a totally different reality, can it? Alice, what year is this? It's 2020. But why are you asking? We'll just go, just making... I'm just making sure I don't accidentally date my mum. Just making sure. I'm just making sure, you know, that I didn't lose any memory or something. Nothing to be worried about. All good. All right, Taka. So this is the same year as my world. But even that is said, the whole city looks ancient. It's hard to imagine this is 2020. What could have happened to make this world so technology backwards? Caffeine? Magic? Does the ability to perform magic make sense less essential? Is that why technology has fallen way behind this world? We arrive back to the Taka Coffee House. The sun is starting to set. Alice, can you tell me more about the magic I just saw? Magic? You mean caffeine? No one here performs magic, Taka. Magic is just a children's tale. Fine, caffeine then. What exactly can caffeine do? It can do a lot of things. What it can do depends on your belief system. Cowboy says, oh my god. In Victoria, couples can perform a whole variety of feats that are impossible for people outside the city. Cowboy, you really got to start drinking coffee to actually believe this, buddy. See, us coffee drinkers can perform a lot of miracles. Have you ever seen the Futurama episode where Fry drinks 100 coffees and then basically he turns into the Flash? Time stands still and he rescues everyone. Have you ever seen that episode? It's true. Caffeine can do that. Coffees can do that to you, buddy. It's got magical powers. Shooting out of fireballs and fighting in coffee duels isn't one of the ways used to caffeine. Caffeine is also heal your body, can make it temporarily more focused on your work and can teleport you from one location to another. I tried the in-laws Turkish coffee. That's weird. You should just have a normal coffee, buddy. There's also caffeine that can turn water into ice or steam. It is preventable to pushing Victoria into the industry age. And you can do all that by drinking coffee? Cowboy says it was effing gross. What you should do, Cowboy, is just go out and have a normal coffee. Just a normal coffee from a proper coffee place. See if you like it then, because it's probably totally different. Was it with milk? Did you have it with milk? Not dog's milk. Did you have it with normal milk? Like Zimmel. Different types of coffee have different properties. Like a normal coffee, like a white coffee. Like I presume that you wouldn't have a black coffee. Black coffee, I don't drink black coffee. Nah, Turkish is straight up, so it's black coffee. You need to go and try a normal white coffee. So, in other words, go out and try a caramel latte. Seriously, go and buy yourself a caramel latte. It's coffee, and make sure you go to a proper coffee place and get it. Coffee, with milk, and caramel. So no sugar. Sugar is replaced by caramel. Have one of those, Cowboy, and then tell me you hate coffee. Because if you're going to drink coffee just straight black, I can't drink it. I've had it straight black, and I don't like it. I like my coffee white. No offense to anyone. Different types of coffee have different properties, but by the end, it all depends on the ability to identify the unique flavors and aromas in your cup of coffee. I don't get it. Isn't coffee just coffee? You make it sound like there's hundreds of different types of coffee in the world. What are you talking about, Taka? There's millions of different types of coffee beans in the world. Every coffee bean from a different continent, different region, different mountain or valley has a different taste. Even coffee plantations of different sides of the same hill would be exposed to different kinds of soil. We learned that in kindergarten, caffeine is the foundation of Victoria. Can you perform caffeine? Unfortunately, I can't. Performing caffeine requires years of palate training, and coffee is expensive. A cup of premium coffee like the one you just had is nearly a day's wage for most people. Caffeine isn't really for consumers like me. Wow, a day's wage? I feel so bad about you paying for the expensive cup of coffee. I should pay you back. You don't have to repay me. In fact, you should stay here as long as you like. Really? I can stay? It doesn't look like you have any place to stay anyway, right? And you're in no condition to be roaming around Victoria looking like a loggy. The whole second floor is empty. The bedroom hasn't been occupied for nearly a year. so I wouldn't mind you staying here and looking after the place during the night. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. And maybe if I stay in this coffee house, I can search for clues about my mum. This is my parents' coffee house after all. This must have some clues hidden in the attic or basement or anywhere. Great, then that's that. You'll be staying here until you are better. Yay! Yay, this is the happiest day of my life.
I'm not sure why you two are so happy, but I'm here to close down this coffee house.
What?
Constantine the Enforcer. Oh no, I forgot. It's today.
Wait, I don't understand. Who is this guy? Why is he closing down the coffee house?
Do you have to ask why? We discussed this.
Please, don't close it down. I'm trying to hire a barista, but no one will take the job.
Alice, what's going on?
You have no idea what's happening, do you? This coffee house hasn't sold a single cup of coffee in a month, and that's against the law.
There's a law that says you have to serve coffee in the coffee house?
Of course. What's the point of calling a coffee house if you don't sell coffee?
Fair enough. Fair enough, buddy. And why is no one willing to work here?
Because of the curse.
The curse?
The well-known barista curse of Taka Coffee House. That's none of my business. The fact is, you don't have a barista now.
Cowboy says, well, I see cake in the back here. I noticed the cake. I'm getting hungry. I feel like cake right now.
Now, you two need to step outside while I lock the main door with this chain.
No, please don't. I've put everything into this coffee house. If you close it down now, I'll have nowhere to go.
You should have thought of that before you invested in this piece of junk.
What did you say? This coffee house is not a piece of junk.
And just who are you? Tell me, why is this conversation your business to begin with?
I'm... Just who am I? Do I say this? I'm a time traveler, a visitor from another world? Do I have anything in the world to replace this guy? I'm the new barista here.
Taka.
The new barista? You're the new barista?
Yes, I am, with lots of experience. I've been brewing coffee since last summer. At Starbucks.
A barista at Sparducks? Never heard of this coffee house before.
Well, it's in the West Coast states. Taka has just returned to Victoria from the West Coast states after being away for a long, long time.
Did Alice just start making things up? But good for her. I was starting to run out of ideas. Alice is pretty quick-witted.
Why are your pupils so large?
That's because I'm lying. No, I mean, I'm telling the truth.
But a very bad liar. Constantine doesn't seem to care if Alice is lying or not, though. Instead, he turns to me and gives me an intense stare.
Alright, so you are a barista. Are you registered with the Coffee Academia?
Coffee Academia? What's that?
Thought so. You know you are not allowed to brew coffee in Victoria until you are a registered barista. Correct?
You need to register to be a barista? Seriously?
You think this is a joke?
Cowboy says, you know what's scary?
A barista is the most prestigious occupation in Victoria. A single cup
people are this
of
friggin' serious about coffee.
underextracted
It's true,
could
Cowboy, it's
endanger
true.
the lives of our cuppers. Do you think you can just call yourself to be a barista?
I had no idea. I can go and register now.
Too late. I'm closing down this coffee house today.
Surely you can wait for a few hours.
No.
Really? Don't be like that. Give us some flexibility.
The law has no flexibility. Written on paper, set in stone. You have either broken the law or you have not.
But this is our life. There must be a mercy behind the law.
Never heard of that.
Wait! Listen to me! Both of you, stop arguing!
Now what, Alice? If you're going to plead for mercy, then be warned that I won't be listening.
Isn't there a law that states a barista with foreign coffeehouse experience that has just arrived to Victoria can temporarily work as a barista for 15 days? All he has to do is pass the barista exam in 15 days, and he can continue to work here, right?
There is indeed such a law.
So, I'm officially hiring Taka as a barista at Taka Coffee House. He will register for the barista test and obtain his license in 15 days. That's certainly allowable, isn't it?
We both look at the Constantine, who is in deep thought.
That is indeed in accordance with Victorian law. 15 days. That's it. I'll be back in 15 days. If by then you still have not obtained your license, then that is it. This coffee house will be shut down.
Constantine doesn't wait for us to reply. He turns around and heads towards the door, not even bothering to look back. You did it! You saved Taka Coffee House! Just for now, what just happened? Was that a license I need to get? The barista license you need to get before the practice coffee brewing in the Victoria. Tomorrow morning you'll need to head to the Coffee Academy and register for a barista test. Once you pass the test, you can officially be a barista. But what? You really plan to do this? You really plan to be a barista at the coffee house? Of course, I'm not going to watch him closed down by some stupid law. But also, I owe you my life. I want your dream to come true. This coffee house has my name in it. Oh, 1, 2, or 3, guys. I'm gonna go 3. I won't let them close down the coffee house. This coffee house has my name on it. It's special to me, just like it's special to you. You're right, Taka. This place is very special to you and me. It's like destiny has somehow led us to this coffee house. Well, work together to make sure this coffee house is still here 2 weeks from now. Now to mention, the coffee house might be a key to finding my parents. It's like a quest. I need to save the coffee house before I can find them. I know it. Thank you, Taka. I can't believe you're doing this, despite the barista curse. Actually, what is the barista curse? And so that the day has starved living in the Taka house. 15 days, I have 15 days to prove my worth. Okay guys, it's time now for Marbrelet's mini indie game review. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Let's save it up. There we go. It's saved. Okay, once again, this game is brought to me today by the amazing people at Ratalaika Games, ratalaikagames.com, Caffeine, Victoria's Legacy it's called. So what do we think about the game? The storyline, guys, you play as the character Taka, who's on a plane in search for his mum that he hasn't seen since he was 6 years old. And suddenly, we think he's on a plane anyway. The plane goes down, he crashes, and he ends up in a place called Victoria, where everything's just about caffeine. They don't know anything about iPhones or new technology or America or United States, what do you want to call it. It's like he's in a whole different world. And he's in search for his mum, and he finds his long-lost Taka coffee house that he grew up in. And so the story begins. So it's got a decent story, guys. I quite was intrigued by it. If you're a coffee lover, you're going to love it too. Visualization, guys, the art of this game is great. The drawings are perfect. I loved how when the characters moved, even those slightly moved, compared to other visual novels where they just don't move at all. These characters actually move when they talk, and which is a nice touch. I really like the visualization of this game. It's a real good drawings. Well done. The soundtrack, guys, I didn't even notice the soundtrack in the background. I can hear it now. But the more important thing is the voiceovers. The voiceovers in this game is brilliant. It's a brilliant idea where the characters talk to you and then you talk back. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's a nice touch and it saves some reading. It breaks it up. And that's a really, really nice touch. Big props to that one. Gameplay-wise, guys, very easy to play. Text was very easy to read. I today played on the Xbox Series X, so it's basically just pressing one button to scroll forward, and or you can press the back button if you miss something. Very easy to play visual novels, and you also got options to choose, like 3 or 2 options, which way you want to go, because the game's got different multiple endings. So yeah, it's straight to the point. A very good visual novel. Out of 10, guys, for this one, Caffeine's Victoria's Legacy, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It's a totally different one. It's all about you know, caffeine and coffee and having magical powers and stuff like that in a world about caffeine. It's really good. When I first got this game, I had no idea what it was going to be about. I didn't read about it, but now that I'm playing it, I really, really did enjoy it. I really highly recommend this game. It's a good one. It really is a good visual novel. Even though if you don't like coffee or caffeine, or if you find it's a bit weird, it's still a very good visual novel to read. So go and get it, guys. Ratalaika Games, ratalaikagames.com. If you're watching me live right now on my Twitch channel, I really do appreciate it if you could drop me a follow just by hitting that heart icon. But if you're watching this back on my YouTube channel as a video replay, like it, dislike it, comment. I will reply to your comments if need be. But remember, guys, it's free, FREE. It takes 1 second, one click of your time to subscribe to my channel. So if you want to say thank you for streaming this game and other games that I've been streaming that my sponsors have sent me, and you want to share the videos, please share my videos with everyone. And if you want to say thank you, all you have to do is subscribe. It is free, guys. I'm not lying. It is free. And it's a way of saying thank you, and it really makes me feel good if you can subscribe to my channel, help my channel grow. I really do appreciate it. Come visit me over on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. That's Marbrolay, MARBROLAY. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming past. Thank you, Cowboy, for getting involved in the stream. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Make sure you take care of yourselves and one you love. Don't forget to feed your pets. And remember, you're perfect just the way you are. And just want to change, then change. Just do you, be you, and you'll be fine. This has been Ratalaika Games Presents Caffeine, Victoria's Legacy. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. Ta-ta.